First of all,
Do
we
it.
have
He does this.
veterans to the alternative rock game Muse with Won't Stand
Hmm.
Down. And I, Muse has had a very rocky kind of goings about since maybe their probably peak in 2007, 2008 with the Resistance Uprising, all that kind of song stuff coming out.
Yeah,
You had some ups, you had some downs. Sean and I have had some
I agree.
disagreements about those ups and downs as well, but like you'd still
Yep.
agree that they're ups and downs. Um,
Oh, for sure.
but Won't
Oh,
Stand
for sure.
Down was a pleasant surprise, at least for me.
Won't Stand Down is the best thing that they've done in years, honestly. Like they really knocked it out of the park with the way they did it, like the sound, everything. It's a return to form for them after like you had Drones, which I didn't really like. You had the album 2018, something with like 80s Tron theme. I can't think of the title of it, but I thought was a step in the right direction, but still like there was some stuff missing to it for me. But with this, like this is like quintessential Muse, but it's a nice little modernization of their sound and everything. So it's fantastic. Old Muse fans will like it, and new, more modern heads will like it as well. So it's great, and a great album teaser for it too. So
Absolutely.
really,
It's
really, really looking forward to seeing what they have, what exactly they're going to do. So
definitely it's a slower track.
yes,
But it definitely has that Muse energy. And
yeah,
some of the Muse things we haven't liked in a while are some of their experiments, right? When they reach
yeah.
too much into electronics,
Simulation
when they
Theory.
reach
There
too
we
much.
go.
Yeah.
That's their last album.
Yeah. And there are times when Muse, in fact, Muse has been very synthesizer heavy since the early
For
2000s for
I
alternative
mean,
rock, like perfectly
yeah,
fine. And they've been great at it. But some of these experiments haven't landed as well as we have liked them to. But that is totally different now, I'd say, at least from this first single. Again, we have the singles rule for a reason. We judge the first single from an album as it comes out, and then we listen to the full album with that single in the context before making like a broad
yep.
proclamation about an artist or an artist's upcoming project. But 2022, another year of Muse, should be really, really great. I'm excited for that,
Mhm.
among other things. Next, another really exciting thing, we have Dime in My Dryer by Brandon Boyd, who you may or may not know as the frontman
Mhm.
for Incubus.
Yes, yep. Brandon Boyd, he's done some solo work before, but this is his first solo project in a very long time, and this is incredible. I absolutely love "Diamond My Dryer." Like, I really, really like that track. It's like quintessential Incubus, but with a little bit of a twist. The way there's kind of like more of a darker theme with it, and it's a little bit more alt-ish, I would say, compared to some of the rocky stuff, especially 8 that we reviewed, and their Trust Fall side B and A, which we both really, really liked. But yeah, it's a fantastic single. I'm really looking forward to the whole release of this album, which will be coming out this year. But old heads will like it, new heads will like it as well. It's just like Muse. Like we are getting the anti Coldplay right now, and I'm all for it. All for it.
Fun for the whole family, honestly. It was a really
Yes.
fun track. I like the sound effects that were played along with it. It was a really thoughtful production on that aspect. And it's just solid alternative rock. I'm not going to get my hopes up
Exactly.
for this year, but I'm definitely making some calculations as we come up to our annual State of Music conversation that'll be coming up
Yes.
very soon because
No.
this is interesting so far. And speaking of interesting so far, we have Toro and I with
Yeah,
no, Tori Ma's back.
No, Tori Ma's back. Chaz himself. No shoes and socks on Mr. Rock Sandals is back, baby, with the fucking hit. Yeah, we got
We have
little,
a double
Postman
side. We have
slash magazine and quintessential Chaz right here. Like this is tried and true Tori Ma, but a little bit different compared to his latest work. I mean, we got a lot of demos and stuff in the last official work compared to last time, but I like the single. It's be interesting to see the context of the whole record because it's really, really bass heavy, which is interesting from Tori Ma, especially not as many synths and stuff as it is in some of his different work. But again, I'm all here for it. So I think this is the year of a lot of our favorite musicians coming back right now. So I love it.
Yeah, we are in one of those cycles, so to speak. And I'm definitely excited for it. We're doing a little bit of cheating here, but sometimes we'll allow ourselves to double dip, maybe not triple dip, but double dip. So we did listen to Postman and Magazine. I'll say I had a Postman felt a little bit underwhelming. It felt like one of those experimental Toro Y Moi, okay, Mr. Fuckboy kind of songs. We're just kind of messing around, experimenting. Magazine with I want to say that's Salami Rose Joe Lewis. Is a all right there. I'm just gonna trust Spotify for the one time I ever do.
All right.
And
Mm.
it came through more on that later. It came through as a really interesting collaboration, and I would like to see some of that. Toro Y Moi
Yeah.
doing some collaborating for his upcoming record because it's very
I'm
clear
down.
this man can do so much instrumentally on his own. I would love to see more and more collaborations. Not too collaborator heavy, not too light, but Toro Y Moi
Yeah,
is one of those people I like
think
to see the
Toro Y Moi,
experimentation.
yeah, he has gone on different people's records. He's done a lot of remixes. He's done some stuff with Neon Indian. He's done stuff with a bunch of different artists. And when he does, I think they're fantastic. So I'd love to see that for his record as well. Like Monte Carlo was my favorite on his last record that we reviewed 3 years ago, which is 2019 is 3 years ago. That's insane. That was his first official release. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how his record comes out.
Definitely. Next, we have a really interesting pairing. We have Disclosure and Zedd with You've Got to Let Go If You Want to Be Free. And that's basically the main mantra throughout the song as it goes through.
Mm-hmm. I thought I was going to hate this at first because I really don't like Zedd at all. As an EDM artist, he's just, hypey-typey bullshit, as I like to call it. But actually, they pair each other decently in this track. I thought it was a really good mixture of the two. Like, it's perfect where you have that Disclosure sound, but you still have a little bit of your quintessential drop and stuff of Zedd. But I thought it was a very good pairing, which I did not expect going in. I expected just to not like this at all. And even before Dan put this in the rundown, I listened to it and I was like, all right, let's see what happens. And I go, okay, actually, surprisingly, don't hate this. So I'll allow it.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. I felt like it is a good opportunity for Disclosure to collaborate with more EDM contemporaries because they've done a good job with collaborating, of course, but they pick often very outside of what is ultimately their realm of electronic dance music. They're happy playing festivals, even though they are one of the few DJs to perform with actual instruments very often.
Yes.
They're very safely within EDM, and so I'm happy to see them perform with more contemporaries like Zedd. I think there's a Disclosure Zeus song as well. I want to say that may have been done. I don't know. It could be like, and I like more collaborations like that. Oh wait, no, maybe it didn't happen.
I don't remember, but I thought there was one.
Yeah, for some reason I thought there was one, but apparently there isn't. But like I know Disclosure has been starting to branch out and collaborate with more, contemporary EDM artists. They've established themselves as like one of the top, and I want to see much more of that.
Agreed.
Okay. Next, we have Anxiety by Coi Leray, and this was the song that kind of blew me away this week. It began kind of slow. It began kind of like, it's sort of like iffy and generic with that like muffly thing it does. But it's a really solid trap and beat track that manages to get some like deep themes within it.
Yeah, I really like it. More on that later, but I think this is the year for me where I really dive into trap and beat. This is something that I think because of how many complaints we've had the past 2 years where it can get a little drowned out. Some of the themes could be great. Some of the themes can just be washed out and mellow. This is like a perfect track for it. It's like the themes, the lyricism, everything in there, the production, it's crisp, it's clean, it's gorgeous. So I really enjoyed this track. This is my favorite singles we've done in a minute too, not just to indulge myself, but it's nice to have that little hit in there as well. So Coi Leray knocked it out of the park. Do you know she's doing a record this year?
Possibly. Coi Leray is just generally really active, and as young artists tend to be, I wouldn't be surprised if we see 1 or 2 projects this year, maybe a drop here, maybe like an album later in the year, or reversed. But I would be definitely excited for that. And lastly, because we've been covering The Smile a lot on Audioface, there was another new single that was released, The Smoke. It's the band with Johnny Greenwood and Tom York and a bunch of others.
And Tom Skinner.
Tom Skinner, naturally, but we don't care because while we have been indulging ourselves.
We are the smile, not the smile as in, but the smile is as in the guy that lies and cheats to you. That is how Tom York introduced the band.
Yes.
That's Tom York thing ever, and I fucking love it. Also, they did do some live shows this weekend. did not watch actually because I am trying to be true to this podcast and I want to have a full listen. I want to have a full listen to it. I've been holding off. The only thing I did listen to is the Glastonbury Festival thing, but that was like in June. So I've been waiting. I'm actually going to do it. I'm trying.
It is cool to see that they're warming up.
It's like you have a heroin addiction. You're just like scratching your arm all the time. You're going up and you're like, I need that stuff. That's me right now. I'm trying so hard, trying to mute my Radiohead shit, and it's impossible. But we're doing it for this podcast. Damn it.
The smile is like one of the any number of drugs in euphoria for Sean. It's just he's got to get that fixed. He's trying really, really hard, but can't do it. Anyways, that was new singles. We love doing this, and also what we love doing is promoting newer artists, up and coming artists, and their work. So if you have one of those things, email us at our email address audioface@syndicate23.co. That's audioface@syndicate23.co. We will take a look at your music. We are actively checking that inbox now, fairly actively, and we will, and we will get to your single suggestion and we'll promote it. Singles rule still applies, of course, but we really want to make sure we are getting as broad a range as possible of artists to review, and we're doing a lot of things this year to do that. Really, 2022 is the year of really leveling up Audioface in terms of how much we influence the music industry, both the number of reviews that we do and the kind of artists that we influence, and that will help us do that will be a lot of support from the audience. So definitely help us doing that. And also the Audioface Awards 2021, I'm publishing all of those clips. It's hard to do at scale because it was a hell of an episode, but the whole thing is up at for Syndicate 23 members. You can help support Audioface and all the other shows that we do at syndicate23.co. Again, and all the transition stuff has gone really well. We're on the new podcasting platform, but that doesn't matter for anyone else because everyone's still getting all the episodes. So that's all cool. That's all awesome. The 2022 playlist, we usually do a playlist for all of our favorite music of the year. The 2022 playlist is going to be ready. We're going to start promoting that very shortly. So stay tuned for that. And thank you, Peter. I forgot to thank Peter in the Audioface episode last week. Thank you, Peter, for mastering all of the episodes for Audioface and Power Report on Syndicate 23. We really appreciate it. Helps it sound really nice and good. Follow them at Dead Music 666 on Instagram, and Dead Music Productions. They do mastering for artists. So if you are into that kind of thing, you know any artists who are looking for that kind of project, check them out there.